guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and this is the first time that I'm probably going to be doing the most amount of talking I have been for the past 3 days because I am in isolation. I don't know why I'm saying that with such a smile, but I think I'm just so happy to finally be like talking and expressing my opinions. I haven't talked for the past 3 days to anyone really. Yeah, I'm in isolation. On a more serious note, I have COVID. When we came back on the ship from Croatia, obviously we got COVID tested and I got tested negative. I went about my day. We had a 3-day stretch to get to Malta, where we are now. And on the day before we were supposed to arrive to Malta, they tested us around noon, and I was feeling completely asymptomatic. I have allergies, and with my allergies, sometimes I sneeze a lot, and it's just normal for me to do that. And I couldn't find my allergy medicine. I kept saying, I was like, damn, I really wish I had my allergy medicine. I keep sneezing. I don't know why. I just figured it was the dust from the ship because the ship is dusty. I just thought I had allergies. I just kept sneezing and I was like, this is normal. Also, Croatia was very cold and your nose would just like run a lot. So it was very normal. I didn't feel ill. I didn't lose my smell or taste or anything. And then at noon, we got tested and I went down to my cabin because that's what you do when you get tested. You get tested and then you have to go sit in your cabin and you're supposed to wait for a phone call or a message on chat, which is like our text messaging service on the ship. And my roommate comes in and I'm just like watching a movie on the TV and she's like, did you check your chat? And I'm like, no. And she's like, check your chat right now because I'm a close contact to somebody that tested positive. And I was like, well, it's me, like I'm the person. Obviously, if she's a close contact, she's the roommate, I'm the positive case. I open my chat and I get this message. I'll put it here. And I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it because I had no symptoms at all. I really just was out of words. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of the backstory of how I found out and how I'm put in here. So then they were like, pack a bag, you're going to be put in here for 5 days and then possibly extended if you test positive on the 5th day for a 10-day quarantine. So right now my roommate, she's in our cabin. And she's been testing negative, so hopefully in the day that we get tested, she's gonna get out. But they haven't retested me, so I have no idea if I'm still positive or negative or what it was. And then they moved me in here. I'm in an isolation cabin. I've been in here for 3 days now. This is the 3rd day. It's tough. It's not easy. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. We are missing out on Malta. It's the 2nd day for everyone and it's my 3rd day in here. And now I'm gonna get into your questions because a lot of it I'm just gonna repeat and I don't want to repeat anymore, so we're going to answer your questions. All these questions that I am about to answer I asked on my Instagram, so if you want to follow my Instagram, it's right here. It's shell.b, and you would have known first that I had COVID if you followed me on Instagram because that is where I announced it first to everybody because like my friends follow it and I wanted them to know. Meg_2468 asks, how are you doing, like mentally feeling right now? Sending hugs. I just thought that was so sweet that somebody asked that, like how am I doing mentally? So thank you, Meg. When I first found out, I actually didn't cry. And I actually haven't cried yet. I've gotten like teary-eyed over it, but I know that like if I start getting really upset over it, it's not going to get me out of this room and it's not going to get me not to be positive or negative, you know, like crying about this situation isn't going to make it better. I'm very fortunate enough to even be in the care that I am and being looked after for. I mean, we all know how many people weren't able to get care when they had COVID, and fortunate enough, I am asymptomatic. I really don't have any symptoms. The only symptoms I said were sneezing. And when I went to bed the first couple of nights, I just had like a little bit of congestion. But that was it. Like, I can still smell, I can still taste, I can still breathe, and that is more than what I could ask for. So I'm just like really fortunate in that way, and I feel like if I was actually ill and all of that, it would be so much worse and it'd be a different story. But I know that this does suck. I'm literally missing out on a country right now, Malta, and it looks so beautiful, but the only view I've ever seen of it is through my porthole window, because we came in so early in the morning, like 6 a.m. So I never actually like saw what the port looks like. I've only seen my view, which is very not much. It's basically like a brick wall, but I'm hoping on Friday I'll at least be able to go up to the top deck and see Malta. But I, like, once again, I'm just not, I'm very upset by this, as you can probably assume and guess, but I'm not, like, I'm not beating myself up about it, you know, because it's not my fault. Kelsey Madigan _ asked, did you catch COVID on the boat or in the port? And I actually don't know where I got it from. None of my friends tested positive. Nobody on the ship tested positive. I'm actually the only person out of 500 people on this ship to test positive. Now, you might be saying, okay, is there like a false positive here? I don't think so, because they tested me with an antigen and then I asked for a PCR test, and that came back positive too. So I got double tested. I'm also triple vaxxed and boosted, so I don't know. You guys can do all the science and speculation down below that you want, but I'm asymptomatic as well, so I really don't know what happened here. I think I have COVID. I just think I'm asymptomatic, and I think it's a really unfortunate case how it happened. I don't know how I got it. I didn't do anything that no one else didn't do, and people were doing a lot worse things than me, I can promise you that. I was just doing the bare minimum. Like, I had my close group of friends and we stayed together. I never met any strangers I didn't know. I think it must have had been something with like a Uber or a taxi and I just happened to contract it. But I don't know. Nobody except me tested positive, and my roommate is not testing positive either, so. Anna.Jean wants to know, how do the COVID rules work, and if you have a field class, would you get reimbursed? It's a good question, because if you're planning on going on SAS in the fall voyage, you should listen to this. So the COVID rules, basically what happens is when you test positive, if you're the positive case, they move you into isolation where I am right now. This is not my cabin. And then they keep your roommate in your cabin as the quarantined student. That quarantined student can either turn positive or they'll be negative, and then they'll go about that. And then for you, you are positive, so then on the 5th day you get retested. If you're positive, you have to quarantine for an additional 5 days and then you're let free. Or if you test negative, then you're free to go right then. So on Friday, in 2 days, I find out if I have COVID or not again, and then I will be let go. With coursework and field classes and all of that, I'm in country right now, and when we're in country we don't have school going on. It's like a free-for-all. It's like your weekend basically, so I'm not missing out on any school. I'm also not missing out on any field classes or field programs that I signed up for. I'm pretty sure that if you were COVID positive and if you had a field class, you would have to talk to your professor and you guys would work out something and then you would do something else. If you have a field program, you would just get reimbursed for it unless it's an overnight. I don't think they can get reimbursed for overnight field programs. Haley Q. Jansen wants to know, do you think it's still worth going with COVID? She's supposed to be going on spring 23. She also wants to know if like a lot of people have been getting COVID and all of that. I think that it's so worth it. I mean, yes, this whole situation sucks being in here alone, but I mean, like, before I got COVID, I was having the best experience of my entire life. And I know after these ports, hopefully I won't ever have to experience this again, since I'll have the antibodies and all of that, according to them. So yeah, I do think it's worth it to go. You do have to get vaccinated and boosted and all of that, so if that is okay with you, then obviously do it. But I really do. This has been like the best experience of my life so far. I'll do like a whole SAS Q&A at the end of the voyage of like my experience and everything, talking about it. But semester at sea has just like changed my life already. I've met so many amazing people, and I know I would have never gotten this experience doing any other study abroad program. People always say it's so expensive, but it's really not. The scholarships are there to help everybody out, and the amount that you're putting towards it it's priceless. I mean, you can't buy this experience. I mean, you can, but you just can't at the same time. Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if you ever have the chance to go, you need to do semester at sea. And I'm saying that on the 3rd day of quarantine in a room where I haven't left in 3 days. So if I'm saying that locked in a room, then you know that SAS is good. And then to answer the second part of your question, not a lot of people have been getting COVID. We had the first port, 40 kids weren't coming because it was right after Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of the holidays and a New Year. A lot of people test positive before we even like started our voyage. So we had like 40 kids that were meeting us in Greece instead of Italy. That's where we started. And then after Greece, I want to say about 10 people tested positive, and then they were down here. And then after Croatia and Cyprus, only like 5. We've been going down, so we went from like 40 to 10 to 5, and then me, 1. The one positive case, me. So, I mean, that's pretty good. If I'm the only positive case, then that's pretty fucking great, you know? Dina Joanna wants to know, are you quarantined on the ship or off the ship? And I hope you have a speedy recovery. Thank you, Dina. That's so sweet of you. I am currently on the ship because every single country has different quarantining and isolation processes. So like for Greece, they took the kids off the ship and they had to quarantine in hotels because that was Greece's rule. For Cyprus, they stayed on the ship, and for Croatia, we're staying on the ship. That's like where I got it from, so like Malta, I guess you could say. But like Italy and Greece, they took them off the ship. I'm happy to be on the ship actually. The Wi-Fi is terrible. I can't upload any of my YouTube videos, so like I'm filming a lot right now and gonna upload them when I get to Spain. But yeah. The Wi-Fi, it sucks, but it's better than at sea. They give you like more for free. But I'm on the ship, and I do like it more because they bring you meals. You know exactly when you're gonna get them. You know what you're gonna have. It makes me feel like I'm not like far away from everybody, you know? Only one down here. Nobody comes down here either, so like if somebody were to, no one would know. It's literally just me down here. There's like 20 rooms and I'm the only one. Maria A. Coate wants to know, do you prefer the new itinerary or miss the ports you lost? I know she's probably referring to the fact that we lost Ireland and Morocco. If you guys have been following along our voyage, we were supposed to go to Morocco and Ireland, and they took that away from us. They also switched our voyage like very early on. Like I don't know like what point she's referring to, but we were supposed to go to like Japan and more like Asian countries. Now we're a Mediterranean voyage, so everything we're doing is in the Mediterranean, and then we're going up the Pacific Ocean. Or is that the Atlantic Ocean? We're going up the Atlantic Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean. Yes, so I am upset because those countries I would have never traveled to by myself. I actually don't even think I'll ever travel to in my lifetime, just because I don't know feasibly how I would get there and how I would travel and all of that. It would have to be like through like a program or something, and I just don't know in my lifetime if I'll ever do that. So I was really looking forward to go to like more of like the Asian countries and all of that. But the Mediterranean countries are so amazing, and I've also never been to Europe at all, so I've been having a blast over here in the EU. When they took away Ireland and Morocco, they gave us 2 extra days in Spain and 3 extra days in Portugal or something like that. So they added it on to our other countries, so I'm sure that we'll even have better times in the countries that we got more days for. So like instead of 4 days in Spain, now we're getting 8 days, and then like Portugal we're getting 7 days or something like that. So I'm actually really looking forward to those countries. And they also gave us Denmark, and I feel like Denmark is going to be so cool to go to, another country I would never go to by myself. But Ireland, I was like, damn, I really want to go to Ireland. Morocco, I had no plans for Morocco. I didn't buy any field programs and all that, and I was very unsure of how I was going to travel around there. Morocco, though, it looked so cool, so amazing, and I was really looking forward to it. I wanted to like ride a camel and all that, but I had no plans, so I'm not as sad as like some of my other friends are. That's it. That's my story, my isolation story. I hope this video was insightful and gave you guys a little bit of knowledge of like COVID life on the ship and more information about that, because if you're traveling on the fall voyage, this might happen to you, unfortunately, but don't be scared because you'll get through it. And I'll leave you guys updated. Definitely follow my Instagram because you'll find out on Friday if I like tested positive or if I tested negative and all of that. On that note, I am going to just go back to doing whatever I was doing in here. I won't be going far because I can't leave, but I hope you guys are having a great day today, and yeah, stay safe out there. You really don't know, like I did everything I could have possibly done to not get COVID and I still got it, so I think it really goes to show that you should always be wearing a mask and don't ever let your guard down, because like the situation could be a lot worse for me if I wasn't a healthy individual. And I'm really fortunate that things haven't gone bad or turned south. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. I hope this video was a little bit of fun, I hope. And I'm going to have a whole COVID isolation vlog, which that video I'm so nervous to upload because it's going to be all over the place. But I think you guys are really going to want to watch it and see what my experience was like in here. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, hopefully out of isolation. Bye guys!